Hey everybody, I'm back again today talking about taking care of your furniture. You might have noticed we were sealing a coffee table yesterday and I got some questions and comments, so I really just wanted to give you some information about how to take care of your chalk painted furniture. First of all, a lot of the furniture that we paint for our clients or things that we purchase and sell on our Facebook page, we won't put a sealant on it unless we think it's something that would typically get heat or water added to it. For example, bedroom furniture, a dresser, or a chest of drawers, we wouldn't typically seal. However, an end table, we would seal because we're thinking, okay, it's going to be in a living room. It might have a drink on it. So unless the client gives me specific instructions, I don't do that. I've had a run of different sealants that I've used over the years because it's just been kind of trial and error because so many sealants out there seem to turn things yellow. And if you do decide to repaint your furniture and you're doing it yourself, you will have to do some sanding to the piece if you do put a sealant on it for the next time. I like the matte finish that chalk paint gives, and it's held up for me pretty durable, and this table is a good example. Now we are sealing this today for the purposes of the video, and I've already got about halfway finished, so you can see it does dry clear. And this is the same sealant that we used yesterday on the coffee table. Now this is called Crystal Clear, and this is a semi-gloss because that's what Home Depot had available. Otherwise I probably would have gotten a matte. But it still is not a very shiny type of polyurethane. I do not recommend this brand on anything that you're painting a true white. It has yellowed a little bit for me before. I don't feel any reservations about using it on this because this is color on top. It's called hazelnut, and you can tell this already has kind of a yellow brown look to it. So we'll finish that after the video, but you can tell it dries. The one thing I would say is use a nylon bristle. This is a Purdy brush, and I don't know if I'm showing you, maybe my fingers covering it. This is a brush. I get these from Home Depot, and I like these best. So I always use nylon bristles with polyurethane, really, or even wax. You can tell that this stuff likes to drip, so you have to use the sides of the can, and I would be real sparing with putting the polyurethane on. Just as you saw in the video yesterday, I would go from the back of the furniture to the front in one stroke. And if you can't get it all, maybe start in the middle. But by the time you finish that line, you want to make sure that you've taken your brush all the way from the back of the furniture down to the end. Now, sometimes it will kind of settle on your corners right here. And I just kind of take the brush and lightly go back over it. But you do want to show one direction with any type of sealant because it does show through the paint. Now, we offer our customers a care card when they do porch pickups, and really we haven't had any discussion about taking care of the furniture in the past. And it talks about not using any liquids on the furniture, letting it sit a while to actually cure before you start putting pieces on and off of it, and cleaning it with a microfiber cloth. That's what I recommend. If you do get something sticky on it, you want to very lightly dampen the cloth. The other things that we use, this is another type polyurethane. I use this on pieces that I do paint a true white, and again, that is usually just on a client's request. This has worked for me. I've got flat here because I like the matte look, but this usually ends up drying, in my experience, clear. There's no yellow tone to it. So if you are sealing some furniture that's painted white, I recommend this. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the first thing that I started using, which was just wax, which you usually see with chalk paint. Clear wax seems to always turn yellow, which this bottle has in no time. It's a lot thicker. I used it on surfaces to start with, but I don't recommend using it on surfaces. Typically what I use wax for is I use it when I'm doing different techniques. I actually use wax, if you can see on the front of this piece, I did a wet distress look, which I painted it, allowed it to dry for about an hour, and it typically takes chalk paint about 2 hours to dry completely, depending on how warm the weather is, at least 65 degrees or more. But then I went over it with a clear coat or a coat of the clear wax. And after I did that, I took a cloth, and in the corners, the paint was easy to come off. So I didn't have to do any sanding, and it still gave it a distressed look. I also use this when I'm using the antique brown wax. I put a layer of this on first, let it dry, then I go back over it with the brown wax, and the brown wax comes off easier once you have put the clear wax underneath. So other things that we use, and I talked about maybe in the video I did several weeks ago with our makeover, is for our painted furniture, whether we're staging it or at home, we like to use placemats and table runners. So we get creative. If you know me and you've seen my videos of my staging, I like to layer the furniture. I like to add a lot of texture. One of the things I talked about, and I'm moving away, but when I bought the table runners that I'm currently using now in my master bedroom, and I'll do a couple shots of that, is I talked about these bamboo placemats, and I like them because they're wood. You can eventually paint them. I don't want to paint these, but even in my booth at Ivy House, sometimes I'll use placemats to put underneath my furniture. It adds texture, and it also protects the furniture, because I not only sell furniture there, but I sell a lot of items that I pick up that are vintage things that there is a lot of taking on and off of the furniture. So anyway, I hope those helpful hints help you, and I hope everybody is staying healthy and feeling well, and y'all take care. Bye.